Hey, hello and welcome back to the art room. I'm really glad you could make it today. Today, a very special day in the art room. It's all about boomerangs. We're going to talk about tiny boomerangs, indoor flyers, how you can make them, medium-sized flyers, then we'll move on to the more professional style boomerangs, this X boomerang, and finally, the big triangular shaped boomerang. We'll meet the boomerang crew out on the flying field. That's right, we'll fly some real boomerangs outside, and then finally we'll talk about symmetry and learn about what that is. So a lot of great things in store today in Mr. Shay's art room, so I hope you'll stick around. It's going to be great. Okay, we're going to start off our indoor flyer boomerang segment here with one that I really like. I got this idea from a gentleman by the name of Jim Broadbent, who has his own website and is a professional boomerang thrower. And he's got a pattern that you can download if you go to his site. If you want to, yeah, go ahead. I think since we're in art, we can draw our own because it's really not that difficult. So I've got a box piece off of some cereal. And what I'm going to do is sketch out the best circle I can, like that, with a pencil. Okay. Not bad, Mr. Shay, not bad. And then I'm going to kind of indicate, like with a dot, like where I think the center is going to be. I'm going to imagine 3 prongs and divide it in. It's kind of like if I had a, if I had like a tray with food in it or something. I put my mashed potatoes over there. 3 prongs. Hey, or maybe you're into Mercedes-Benz, I don't know, something like that. All right. Now all we have to do then to make it into a boomerang is put a paddle shape. Just going to draw a paddle shape here, like a balloon shape. Spin it around, do it again. And then on my third one here, it looks like a piece of clover out of your yard almost. I'm going to go around and see if I can make it a little more even. But that's looking pretty good, right the way it is, like that. Okay, I want to be careful to leave some area in the center so that the boomerang doesn't fall apart. Good little indoor boomerang. Okay, now I'll cut it out with my scissors. It's making me hungry for Raisin Bran. I can smell the cereal on the box here. Okay. There's 2. All right, we're looking pretty good. Our little Raisin Bran flyer is looking pretty good. So if I want this little flyer to fly, look around, let's see, is it pretty even? It is, it's pretty even. I think it's got a little kind of a lopsided spot there. I'm just going to trim that off. That's better. This one maybe make that a little smaller. Trying to make it look pretty symmetrical. There's that word again. All right. Now, if I want this to fly around the room, I have to, let me grab a marker here, I have to make a little bit of a fold on the wing edge. Okay, so if you're a right-handed flyer, then make a mark right about here on that first wing. Do it again. Make the mark on the left, like that. Do it again. Make the mark on the left. That is going to give us our wing warp that we need. Airfoil basically is what we're making here, so that when we try to fly this through the air, the wind will give it lift. Hey, believe it or not, there's even wind in your kitchen. So let's do that, but I'm going to move the camera over here just a bit to the edge here. Okay, so to make it fold, I'm going to bend it off the edge of my table and just smash it down. Maybe I can get in a little closer on that. Okay, what I'm doing right here, I'm lining it up right here, and I'm going to put a bend. Can you see the bend? Put a bend right there. It doesn't have to be a real big bend. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here, pushing it down. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the last one. Right there, pushing it down. Okay. So this is what we've got so far. You can see those bends on the edges of my wing. Oops. Now Jim Broadbent suggests that we put a little bit of an upward bend in it, like so. Okay, and it's time to test the indoor boomerang. So here we go. I got to switch cameras. The Raisin brand flyer. There it is. Okay, hey, you might have noticed while I was away, I decorated my boomerang, my indoor flyer. It flies great. What fun. So the next one I want to show you for our indoor flyers, beginner flyers, a three-corner boomerang made from cardboard is terrific. And I made one and already have one decorated right here in symmetry. Once again, we'll talk about that. I got a piece of, this time a toy box. This is about twice the thickness of my Raisin brand flyer. So for that one, I'll cut off 3 equal pieces of our toy box cardboard. Okay, and get the good old Elmer's glue going. And I'm going to glue this, of course, into the shape of a triangle. Okay. I always rub my glue around a little bit, don't you? Yeah, I know you do. Okay, like that. And get that positioned as the best triangle I can. Uh-oh, too much glue there. Okay, and I'm just going to let that dry for about a half hour before I start decorating it. The other kind of boomerang is the crisscross style boomerang, which also flies very good indoors. More of a helicopter action, I would say, than the three-corner boomerang. So for the crisscross boomerang, 2 pieces of cardboard once again. And this time we're going to go with glue in the center, like that, and let that dry. So Cardboard's a pretty good way to go if you're going to stay inside, you're going to stay in your backyard. This one will fly a good maybe 20 feet in the backyard, and just like any boomerang, if you get good with it, you can make it come back. You'll have a heck of a good time flying it either way. Good backyard boomerang. What I found myself doing was getting interested in a more kind of a real boomerang as I kind of followed this lesson along. So my quest led me to another product that you can get at the dollar store. This stuff is called Ready Board. Ready Board. Can you see that? I got that at the dollar store. It comes in a great big thick sheet like this, great big pieces of it. So you can make your boomerang huge. So once again, this boomerang is made from Ready Board, and it's a lot bigger. It'll go a lot farther, and as you can see, I decorated mine. It's Mr. Shay's Art Room official drawing power boomerang. Yes, and I've already beat it up quite a bit from throwing it around in the backyard. Strictly a backyard flyer, though. Don't expect this to fly in much of a wind. If it's a calm day, you can have a really good time throwing it around. Any kind of wind, and you're going to want to go into something a little more substantial, and we're going to cover that in the next segment here, just coming up of our boomerang episode. One thing I did want to show you, though, here are some small boomerangs I made, all painted up. I use my acrylic paint, you can see over here, to paint these little tiny ones. They're great. So to make the little ones, I of course don't need to tell you, but I'll show you anyway. I just cut up, smaller pieces of the toy box paper and arrange those into a triangle. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. The little triangular shaped boomerangs, which I've all painted. I decided to have some fun. It was raining pretty hard one day, so I went over to the kitchen and I made some little guys, some little targets. And here's what I did. I took a piece of tag board, or index paper rather, kind of like our jumping frog, remember? And I folded it in half the skinny way, and I cut it out in the shape of a kind of a bowling pin with a head on top. You wouldn't even have to put a head on top. Okay, kind of like that. And so it would stand up on the table. I put a slit right here. And that wasn't before I drew a annoying face on my boomerang target. You got to have something to shoot for, so hey, he's a bad guy. Yeah, I gotta knock him down. Okay, he's even going like, yeah, Okay, there's my boomerang target, bad guy. Now to make him stand up on the table, I just bent these flat, bend them flat, crisscross them a little bit, and put a little Elmer's glue there, and give that a minute, and he's going to be ready to go as your target. I made a whole pile of targets. I just had a lot of fun one day, and so we're going to go over to the kitchen right now, and I'll show you what happened in the kitchen with my indoor boomerangs. Wait till you see that. Okay, that was fun. Let's get back to work. Okay, we're going to devote this next section to the advanced boomerangs. And I was so lucky. I went to Lowe's today and I was looking for paint stirrer sticks. I found out that you can buy a 10-pack for 99 cents at Lowe's. And Lowe's really knows. It's great. So we are going to be using these really for our sort of advanced boomerangs. We're going to make, let me get them out of the package here if I can. You know, I've learned so much making these things. I can't believe how it's kind of gotten to be just almost an obsession, this boomerang making thing. It's just so much fun. So I'm going to use 5 of them. And hey, where'd he come from? Okay, I'm going to use 5 of these, and just as I did with the paper boomerangs, the cardboard boomerangs, I'm going to glue these together, but we're going to really make sure these are fastened well. I have another idea for the X boomerang here, so Elmer's glue, and try to hit it pretty close. In about an hour, my boomerangs will be ready to go. Okay, we're back, and I'd like to talk for a minute about this idea of symmetry. Symmetry happens in nature quite often. Like, imagine that both sides of a butterfly's wings are symmetrical. My hands right here are symmetrical. That means that this right hand is a mirror image of my left hand. For our boomerang, we're really talking about something else called radial symmetry. So radial symmetry happens at a central point and radiates out from there like a starfish or a flower. Okay, so to start our symmetry, I've got a little dish here. I've got some water, and I've got some acrylic paint. And if you're making a paper boomerang, a tri-corner boomerang, paint along with me. If you're making a cardboard boomerang, paint along with me. And if you've got paint stir sticks, paint right along with me. We're going to have some fun with symmetry. By the way, while I was up at Lowe's also today, I found this package. Now these are a little bit smaller sticks meant for stirring up a quart jar. And wow, what a great deal. 30 paint sticks for $1. You could make 10 three-corner boomerangs. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Or 15 X-style boomerangs. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to get my paint going here. I'm going to squirt out some yellow. And I'm going to be using also some red. I love yellow and red together. And I think I'll use a little bit of white. Now you can substitute these colors for any other colors you want as long as you stay symmetrical. And black's going to be kind of dynamic, so we'll do some black. Alright. And I think I'm going to sneak in a little bit of brown at some point on my boomerang as well, so I'll lay out some brown here. Okay, well it's pretty on that plate, isn't it? Okay. Symmetry. So, I think I'll start off with some red on my brush. I don't like that brush. Just didn't like his looks there. Okay, I'm going to start off with a little bit of red on my brush here, and I'm going to go right at it with a kind of a triangular design here, right about in the center of my one boomerang piece. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm going to spin it around. And that means, of course, that since we're talking about radial symmetry, that I'm going to want to have a red diamond right around there. Okay. Guess what I've got to do? Right there. That's exactly right. Another red diamond. I'll probably paint the back of my boomerang too, but with us while you're here with me, I think I'll keep it kind of simple and just paint the front. That way I won't have to keep flipping over and confusing you a lot. Okay, it looks kind of cool already, don't you think? Rinse out my brush. And sometimes I like to have a rag or a paper towel nearby. Okay, on with our symmetry then. So yellow, I think I'll do that. Okay, what do you think? I think I like it. It was a really kind of a cold and windy day, the day that we went up to the field. That was last week, and actually this is the boomerang that I wound up throwing, and then we also had the boomerang crew, which you'll meet here in just a second. Thanks a lot for James and Andrew, the boomerang crew, for following along with me and playing along with me. I had a great time flying my boomerang. I want to try to advise you to pitch it into the wind at about 30 degrees. That's the way I've heard it. Grasp it by... Yeah. And James, they're on the boomerang team.
There we go.
Okay, you ready to throw some boomerangs?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, we are for another try. This is the triangular shaped boomerang. And I'm going to see if I can catch this one. Hoping and praying that it will come back to me. Please, boomerang, come back. Here we go. Yeah. Look at that flight. Okay, that's going to do it for our boomerang episode. I hope you had half as much fun as I did. Keep making boomerangs and try some of these professional ones made out of wood. I think you'll really enjoy those. Hey, but don't forget to ask Mom on a rainy day to knock down a few bad guys in the kitchen too. You'll have fun doing that. All right, and we'll see you back here next time in Mr. Shay's Art Room.